as they are rewatching after COVID, they say like, "Oh, this is it, I felt totally differently," you know. And I think it's because it's so much about isolation and so much about it's about mental health. It's about feeling lonely. It's about feeling trapped. So somehow I think people can empathize more with Will now. Not that they didn't empathize when they watched it before, but I think now they can be even more like inside his shoes and feel like, oh, okay, I get where he's coming from, and that's why he's doing that. And I think in this sense, since now we went through that experience, I think they will be able to uh, to see Will differently.
Okay, lovely. Because I thought the isolation of each character was wonderful, and Benedict, the struggle your character had with having never had the opportunity to be alive, and that sort of longing. And I thought at the moment there's so many people just desperate to go out and hug and go to the pub or whatever. And then I found it quite interesting because we don't know where this is situated. Obviously, there's lots of different accents, and yours being a British or English accent. And I thought, how did you come about the choices for that character? How did you make the decisions that sort of led you to that performance?
Well, I did discuss this with Edson really, where we wanted to go, and he said just be yourself more, and obviously, throughout, it's been like 30 years now, my career, and it steers in various different ways. It's kind of sometimes they're very much like East Asian or kind of like American, but never really kind of. I was rarely kind of got work in Manchester anyway. So I mean, like just to get a chance to play more myself was an amazing opportunity, really. But I mean, this character. I mean, yeah, he's the hope, the optimist. And like you say, though, he's never been alive. He's still a romantic to life, and I think in a way, as an audience member, seeing him sort of vicariously live through others, it's we think about moments, we think about cherishing the moment, and I think as an audience member, we have this, we take a beat for ourselves, as in a way, like how Will returns to himself in a way. And just I love that kind of when it just goes, when he thanks her, in a way that he's kind of feels like he's back again. It's like, where are we? It kind of reflects back to us. I feel, as audience members.
Yeah, we do. We certainly do, and that really resonated with me. You kind of get delivered back. And I think we're all waking up a bit more to the details, the wonderful details in life. It led me to, and I think you're probably going to get asked this a million times, but the moments and your character Benedict helping build those moments was such a wonderful part of the film, and to see that. And I thought, what I'd love to know, you personally, as Benedict and Edson, if you could go back and revisit one moment for those 5 or 7 minutes or whatever, what would you choose? What would you go for? That's to both of you, please.
I think for me it would be something with my family, like possibly in a swimming pool, with some, my dad just, pulling me from, and then it was just like I would just it would pull me, just like go through, one side from the other side of pool and things like that, yeah, I think that would be the moments I pick up.
Lovely, lovely. And Benedict?
Again, yeah, I just think with what am I thinking of now? I was really fond of the back in the 70s, I guess, with my cousins and my gran, and like she was like the matriarch, there would always be like a cook up, and just everything was all kind of 70s blur, really, and like watching ET, and just all my, there's about 16 odd cousins. I think, like, yeah, that's a lovely moment I hold quite dear as well.
Yeah. I think going back would be absolutely I mean, Bill Withers did Grandma's Hands, and I think there's something about that in this film that really captures that kind of feeling. I'm running out of time, so very quickly, it's a little bit more light-hearted this, but we get to see obviously the lives of people through the television screens. And I thought, if you had an opportunity to see anyone in history, dead or alive, and you could experience and watch their lives through a TV screen, who would you choose and why? Has to be
Jesus,
both of you.
I think Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess Jesus.
Wow, that's a tough one. Who do I want? I kind of Tesla. Yeah. Gonna see what he got up to. Yeah, see all the missing plans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a fascinating one, isn't it? Because I just think, God,
Yeah.
it wakes you up to think, how
Yeah.
can we, all the opportunities that you could see and the things and the knowledge and, maybe Einstein or Joan of Arc. And it's just, mind blowing. I'm running out of time, so I better sign off. But I just want to say, Edson, thank you very much. I understand this is your first feature, so I really hope that we'll be seeing a lot more feature films from you, because it's
Thank you. Appreciate it.
superb.
Thanks so much
And
for having me.
Benedict,
Thank you.
I'm really hoping when you spoke, I was like, hold on, that's genuine. I mean, that's not an American
Mhm.
putting on that accent. There's no way you can capture that. I thought, why is he not on our TVs more? We need to get you back over it.
Last year. Thank you for that.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you,
Not at all.
Bob.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks
Right,
again,
thanks,
guys.
Bob.
Congratulations. Cheers.
Thank
Thanks
you.
very much.
Have a good one. Bye-bye.
Cheers.
Thanks.
Bye. Bye.
Bye.
At the very beginning, just give us a little bit of a slate, the way you would at the very beginning, your name, your affiliate, all that, and then just do your intro and roll right into it. And if I could also just trouble you to keep an eye on the chat, I'm going to give you a 1-minute warning when we're getting to the end there, and then I will interject at that point. All makes sense?
That sounds great to me. Thank you.
All right, great. So, Josh, are we rolling all on your end? Rolling on my end? All right, great. Go ahead, Bob. Thank you very much.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Bob Dobson. I'm from the AP. I'm actually in London, so it's towards the afternoon in Sunday. But I guess, is everyone in LA today? Is that
Just me.
just you? Okay. Could I ask where everyone's based, just so that we can be accurate when we put it on the interview? Just the city that you're in. So.
Oh yeah, I live in LA, but I'm visiting family, and I'm down south. I'm in Nashville right now.
Nashville, lovely. Thank you, Tony.
Yeah, and I live in New York, but I'm in Atlanta currently.
Brilliant. Thank you very much for that. Could I say congratulations on the film? I watched it yesterday on the Screener link, and I thought it was superb. A really fresh film to see, because I haven't been able to see anything for quite a long time, and it was such an interesting film. And one of the things that I'd like to ask you to start with is, I wondered how you thought this would resonate with people after everyone's gone through the lockdown with COVID, and essentially lived in a very isolated world, which is what we saw yesterday, where individuals are trying their own struggle to get through. And I just thought, I wonder what you guys thought the impact would be on those audiences and how they may relate to that.
Yeah, we were just talking about that actually before we started the interview, because we haven't seen each other. And I don't know. I personally know that as I've been venturing back out into the world, I absolutely have this appreciation for even the smallest things. And now with some of the potential of lockdowns happening elsewhere, and we're remasking here in Los Angeles. You kind of go, I mean, I'm grateful that we're masking, and at the same time, I'm sort of like, oh, I really just appreciated having my face, in the air and to be able to breathe. So just, the small things, so appreciative of the small things. And I think the movie really touches on that.
Mm-hmm. I would say, oh, go ahead, David.
Okay, I was saying that I feel like it, art foreshadowed, like we all had these experiences in the movie where we are having the half experience of life. And I feel like that's what the last year and a half has been in many ways, but then allows you to see life for what Ariana said, like the beauty it is. We've all been through virtual reality or movies, living in isolation. So I do feel like it's, and also the contemplations on vulnerability and how to be in the world and how to show your own struggles with darkness, while also I think we've all had like a mental crisis in a way as a world, and I think that's how to exist to be good to yourself and the world. I think that's a question I think this movie handles, and I think that's something that we're all dealing with too.
Yeah, mine's along the same lines. We also, I don't know if you guys have seen it since COVID ended, but I haven't seen it. The last time I saw it was Sundance, and I remember walking. This was pre-COVID, obviously, and walking away going, "Oh my gosh, I take life for granted." Was there 6 of us or 7 candidates? I think it was 6. How many candidates were there?
I don't remember.
I think it was 6 or 7.
Yeah.
But it was like we're just craving to live. And I walked away from that movie and I was like, my gosh, I just do not take those moments. And of course, now post-COVID, it's like a whole different game. I'm
Yeah.
craving everything.
Absolutely. I mean, it's really struck me how relevant it is to today, to audiences. I think people will be really moved. And one of the things from an acting point of view which intrigued me was the struggle, the desperation within the characters. I wondered how you managed to achieve that when I guess that the characters that you're told are the existence beforehand is nothing and they go into oblivion. So how do you come about making your character finding that individual in that situation?
I do remember all those conversations we had because
Yeah.
it was just like, so what are we? Like, what space are we in? And just all
Yeah.
those discussions of kind of trying to figure it out.
And having that, we had this group discussion about, and with Edson, about how we're starting from a blank slate. But I think each of our characters had this like seed of who we actually are. David is the sensitive artist, and Tony with your specific character, just I don't know it, and mine sort of representing love and romance. That the sort of innate seeds of who our beings would be even if we became human. Will's character, Will says that. He says you will be born and you'll still be you. So I think it was tapping into like blank slate with that seed and then growing over those days.
I felt like you're really having an interaction and a feeling without understanding it, and like part of like the arc of each of our characters is like understanding his or herself, I think, a little bit better. At least I felt like Mike was understanding without even, he is having reactions without even realizing why. I think that happens, a lot as a growing up. It's the same kind of thing. You're like having these interactions and you have to go and figure out why you feel that way about it. And I think that was happening on a miniature scale in this movie. So we have these blank slate and then these initial reactions that the candidate doesn't even understand that she or he is having.
Yeah, it was. I just thought it was wonderful how individual each character was. How the actor, to me, had captured the essence of that person, exactly that person, and in contrast to all the others, which really sort of fed into this idea of people being chosen for whatever characteristics they've got, without it being too stereotypical or too 2D. Just to move on to something slightly lighter, I'd love to ask you if you had a chance. We do something called Celebrity Extra, which is slightly off topic on it, but if you did have the chance to view anyone in history, dead or alive, to view their life through their eyes, who would you choose and why?
That's a tough one.
I've got my 1 minute warning, so could sit this out.
Oh, I would say, I mean, not to sound, this is cheesy, but I think like the way my daughter sees the world right now, she's, just kids just have this, every moment is its moment. They don't have that kind of, daunting anxiety of what's coming. I mean, they do, but like I get wrapped up in anxiety. I don't know, just through a kid's eyes, just like, wow, every moment, like a play date, the best day ever, I could use some of that.
Yeah.
I was just reading about this Native American activist who lived from like the late 1800s to the early part of the 20th century, and she was torn, and I can't remember her name off the top of my head, but I was so fascinated by her because she was raised in, of course, European culture and taught, but she was born a Native American, and she was really torn, and to be so such an activist during that time, when her people are being obliterated. I don't know. I'd be really curious. I want to learn more about her. I literally was just reading about her, so she's on my brain right now. I can't remember her name.
Cool.
David would choose me. You
I would
me,
choose
right,
Tony
David?
Hill.
I'm so glad. That's so nice. That's so
Yeah.
nice.
I'm so glad you know that, Tony.
Good, good.
I'm glad I projected that onto
Good.
you. Yeah, Tony's my answer.
Tony, lovely, great. I mean, why not? Yeah, absolutely. Imagine it's a fascinating
Oh my
life to
God,
have
that's
seen.
perfect.
So Tony, because even when I think about your character and your portrayal in the movie, which I'm a huge fan of, it's such a breath of fresh air throughout the story, and you have this incredible humor that your soul immediately brings to the
Oh,
situation.
that's nice.
Mhm.
It comes from so much pain, Ariana. So much pain.
I
That
think
one
mu-
scene where you let out the pain, it's like, I think that you feel
That's
it.
trauma.
Yeah, you see the trauma. You see the trauma for sure.
is Matt, are you there? Is that my time?
That's your time, sir. If you want to do a quick wrap up, and then we're going to have to move forward.
Okay, thank you very much, guys. Thank you very much. Congratulations on the
Thank you
film.
for having
Thank
us.
you.
No worries. Thanks for talking. Take care.
I like your bedroom too. It's very cozy.
It's our spare room. My parents are here to look after
Very
the
nice.
kids. So thanks.
All right, thanks, Bob. We're going to stop recording,
Bob.
guys.
It'd be fun if they were sleeping.